Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Red. This is going to be episode 32. In this episode, we should be able to pretty much just handle Sabrina's gym pretty easily. I say that, but you know, we'll see. So my strategy for always... It's always worked for me. So my strategy for taking on this is if you're in the bottom right corner, you go left. If you're in the top right corner, you go down. And if you're in the bottom left corner, you go right. It's like that, you know? And then I would go down, but I'm going to go fight this guy because I thought I would run into him. So that strategy has always kind of worked for me. It's always, and I think it gets you in every single square, but it does get you to the end of the fight or end of the area. So we got a psychic here. Are they wearing house slippers or just loafers or something? Either way, they're both comfy. Cash money. Headbutt. Oh, he's using my techniques against me. I might swap cash money out of the front for someone else, just simply because he's got a lot of good resistance and stuff here, but like psychic's not really going to be useful unless they have like a Pokemon that it's just for some reason is. Oh, you know what? No, I got rid of that. Never mind. I was going to say I can use Absorb, but like I got rid of it for like Slash. Alright. Cut his face. You know, I've never really used Kabutops. I remember as a kid getting Kabuto and then not liking Kabuto because he wasn't good from the get-go and just never deciding to use him again. But like, I think with the right moveset, he's actually pretty good. The only thing that I would want on him right now, and I'm not interested in like, because I think he can learn it, but I'm not interested in like grinding the coins from the coin counter or the, you know, the game corner to get Hyper Beam. If that were the case, like I would just do that. So I'm gonna fight that lady, but like because I was in the top right corner. Oh man, I meant to swap out. She should have some ghosts, so it should be fine. Top right corner means I'm gonna go down then to the next one. Psychic. Okay, so I take back what I said a minute ago about Psychic not being as useful in here. If there's gonna be like channelers, then you know, Channeler sent out Ghastly. Man, it's really nice that there's so many more ghost types now, because like running into to channelers, it's like, oh man, they could have like so many like different types of, you know, they could have a Chandelure, which by the way, Chandelure is probably my favorite, maybe my second favorite ghost Pokemon. I mean, it's the most useful compared to the one that is my favorite. Like my favorite's Mischievous, but Chandelure, I like that. I like the design of all of the evolutionary stages in that one. Litwick, and I don't remember what the other one is called. But those are pretty cool. Pretty cool designs and pretty cool Pokemon. Cash money. Kablam! Trying to learn meditate. Can't learn more than 4 moves. I think meditate just makes your special get better, but like I don't plan on ever really using it. And at the same time, like, why would I use meditate when I can use the combo of put them asleep and then, like, drain them of their energy? Slow bro. Cash money. Headbutt. I think at this point, like, I'll probably go to the Poke Center. Once I get to, like, Sabrina's room, I'll probably run out to the Poke Center. Then I'll show you the strategy that I had said about, like, I'm basically showing it now. See, there she is. But, we just reverse the process. And, it may not get me to every single room, but it's like I was saying, that's always worked for me. I'm sure, it's been a long time since I, first played the game, and I don't remember what I did or didn't do. The only thing I remember is that I relied on my starter for pretty much everything. So my starter would be like, super far ahead in the game, and then the rest of my Pokemon would be like, here's a level 5 Rattata that I caught a while ago in Saffron City with like a level 50 like Squirtle or like Blastoise or something like that. Like when I was a kid, I think I already talked about it, like I did not at all understand how role-playing games worked. And so, like, I tried to play them like every other game. So, like, that's kind of one of the reasons why I would usually hit brick walls in Pokemon, because Pokemon is made for everybody. Geared more towards a younger audience, but everybody can play it. I mean, the whole point of, like, the marketing for Pokemon was, like, it's something that could bridge the generational gap, and it's something that can bring people together. Look, see, Sabrina's got a whip too. Everybody just likes to, walk around like playing as Indiana Jones, I guess. Headbutt. To be fair, Indiana Jones is pretty cool, so I get it. Mr. Mime, go, bow bow. Confusion, ouch. Ooh, that didn't do a lot, did it? Skull Bash. Looking at Mr. Mime's sprite in this game, kind of looks like he should be an enemy in Super Mario RPG. Alright, she about to use Venomoth. I'm gonna keep Bow Bow out because fire is good against bug type. So let's hope Ember is strong enough to deal with it. Man, that sucked. Psybeam! I think it'd be funny. I was just thinking about, like, in Resident Evil 2 and in Resident Evil Code Veronica, you run into a giant moth and a few smaller moths in, like, Resident Evil 2, but in the second campaign. But In Code Veronica, there's a hallway that you keep running back and forth in, and there's like moths in it. And they're really annoying in Code Veronica because you can sit there and systematically shoot every moth. But like the second you leave the room and come back, they are like all respawned again, and then they lay eggs on you, and like eventually they're gonna hatch and just randomly do damage, and if you're not in a good spot, that sucks. And if you defeat them all, I think I already said this, but if you defeat all of them, they end up just literally respawning the second you leave the room and come back, which is weird because no other enemy in in Resident Evil or Code Veronica just respawn like that. Like when you defeat enemies, they don't come back. So I don't know why the moths do. Alright, Sabrina's gym went down a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. She is shocked, but a loss is a loss. I admit I didn't work hard enough to win. Weren't you the psychic person saying that you foresaw that you were going to beat me? The Marsh Badge makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Stronger Pokemon will become wild, ignoring you. Your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much. Wait, please take this TM with you. What is this one? It's Psywave. It uses powerful psychic waves to inflict damage. I forgot about Psywave. Is Psywave better than Psychic? Cash money and your brick. I might hold off, and then in between episodes I might do a little research. AKA I'm gonna hit El Gugay, and El Gugay is gonna like tell me if Psywave is better than Psychic. And then I'm gonna like make that decision. It'll probably be cash money because his special attack is good and like he's actually a psychic type. Alright, Pokemon are fighting fit. Hope to see us again. Alright, so let me think if there's anything I want to do before heading to Cinnabar. New Great Ball offers improved capturing rates. Try it on the hard to catch Pokemon. This is the Miss Cappy Cat, right? And her thing is that she can actually like mimic voices, so it's implied like Red actually speaks at this moment, like silent protagonist, but now he's like actually speaking. Hi, do you like Pokemon? No, I just asked you. Huh? You're strange. Copycat. Quit mimicking. But that's my favorite hobby. Doesn't she give you... Am I crazy? I thought you got like you got a TM. Is that from like Pokemon Gold, where it's like Mimic or something like that? Copycat or like Mirror Move? My daughter is so self-centered. She only has a few friends. Well, maybe she only needs a few friends. Maybe all the other kids are not cool. And by that I mean very mean. I saw a rocket boss escaping Sylph's building. Like, you know, because sometimes you don't really need, like, you know, 100 friends. Like, you know, realistically speaking, this is just my personal opinion, you know. Agree to disagree, take it as you will. I just think it's one of those things that it's like having, you know, 3 or 4 really, really good friends, in my opinion, it's better than having like, you know, 15, you know, not so great ones and like a couple of good ones here or there. Go to Cinnabar. I guess I can start the Burnt Mansion. Won't get too far into it. Like, we can't get in here because the door's locked, so we have to get the key from the Burnt Mansion. But I won't get too far into it because, like, you know, the video, I don't want it to run on for too long. But this has got like a really creepy track. Actually, is there any place I can go over here? Like any items I can get? I know I have to go up there and flip the switch. Coughing. A little trivia, if I remember correctly, they wanted to name coughing and wheezing after New York and Los Angeles because at the time the game came out, New York and Los Angeles had like an incredibly high pollution rate. But I don't know why they didn't. I think it just had something probably to do with it being like, well, we don't want to like, either it wouldn't make sense or we don't want to like, you know, make people upset or something. What's this? Got an escape rope. Use Swift on it because Ember's not going to do anything. Swift barely did anything, but like, if takedown, or not takedown, if Skull Bash knocked it out in one hit and took 2 turns, like, and I could have done that in 2 turns with Swift, I just thought it would be better. You know, this track, now that I'm listening to it again, sounds like a, oh yeah, isn't this like another way out of the mansion right here? Yeah, if you have it, if you have the switch the right way and you try to go out that door, you will automatically like leave. Anyway, now that I'm listening to this track again, it kind of sounds like an OTS from like the original Resident Evil, from like the original game and the director's cut that had the good music, not the director's cut DualShock edition that had the like really bad music. But to be fair, there are a couple of tracks in the DualShock edition that are actually pretty good. But my gripe, and I'll probably talk about this more when I play the first Resident Evil, because I'm going to play the director's cut with the good music. But I've got the option to do both, because I have the DualShock edition on my PS3, but I have like the actual director's cut on PlayStation 1. But I'll probably talk about this more when I go to play it. There's a secret switch. Press it. Whoa, who wouldn't? You don't know. It might be like a self-destruct. But as I was saying, the thing that I don't like about... Okay, well, it's not really that I don't like it. So there's 2 ways that I look at it. So the original soundtrack for Resident Evil makes the game a pretty competent horror game. You know, obviously the like campy dialogue and the different story beats and stuff in that game are just kind of like You know, they're kind of... Sorry about that. I had to mute the mic because I had a yawn I couldn't suppress. But like I was saying, like it's kind of campy. It's kind of like, you know, kind of got these like 1960s, maybe 50s, like horror sci-fi movie kind of vibe. But the soundtrack actually is like, you know, it's really good at creating like suspense and dread, and like the basement theme, the original basement theme, before it was like, you know, removed for that sad trumpet like party. Like it's actually like probably one of the scariest tracks in the game, and probably one of the scariest like tracks in a horror game, in my opinion. And then the trumpet one is just kind of like, oh man, it's something. But like the soundtrack being replaced, takes it from being like a pretty competent horror game to being like a horror comedy B-movie kind of deal. Or like a comedy with horror elements like Ghostbusters or Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness. Skull Bash. You know, I think it would be funny if they did a variant of like in one of the newer Pokemon games. If they did a variant of coughing where he does have the skull and crossbones above his face instead of under his face. Like, I don't know, like I don't think Nintendo's gonna take any like advice or anything, or like, you know, saying, you know, I say something like, oh, this would be really cool if they did it. Like, I don't think Nintendo's gonna take like what I've got to say seriously enough to try it, but I think it'd be really cool if they like did variants, not just like, you know, like regional variants like the Alolan stuff, but I mean like, you know, kind of like how you have like the shiny Pokemon, like every so often maybe you'll get one that has like a detail on it that makes it clearly different from all the other Pokemon. That would be really cool. It doesn't have to be like super common or ultra rare, but just like every so often, you know, you can run into a coughing where the skull and crossbones are above his face or something like that. You know, I think that'd be really cool. Or like, and you know, you run into a Farfetch'd and instead of it carrying around a leek, I don't know, maybe it's got like a carrot or something like that. I just think it would be really interesting if they did that, and like might revitalize the idea of like trading for like getting cool Pokemon or something like that. But with that being said, this is where I'm going to call the episode. If you watch the episode, I really appreciate it. If you watch to this point in the episode, I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.